Galveston here. The Way of Victory. 50 years of martial arts stories is what I'm sharing with you now. My life. 50 years and counting. I want to shout out my son, Billion Dollar Vision. My tech man, my videographer, my son. I want to shout out my man, Mikey Pound, who was an inspiration for me starting this channel. He has a channel called 33 Years of Prison Stories, in which he talks about the horrors of prison and the 33 years that he did in there in the hopes of keeping young men from making choices, young men and women that make choices that put them in prison. So thank you, Banky, for inspiring me to do this video. Please like, subscribe, and share to The Way of Victory on YouTube, as well as to Banky Pound. Very powerful stories that he tells, and of course very powerful stories that I tell as well. So I'm giving my history in chronological order, starting with 1972 when I started my training in the martial arts. So in 1978 I became a student at North Carolina Central University. At 21 years old I was a freshman. I had a good time. I'm not like a young 17, 18-year-old freshman. I'm a 21-year-old freshman that's got 4 years in the Marine Corps, 13 months on Okinawa. I mean, I'm ready to go. But you can't tell that by looking at me. I still look like 17 or 18 until I start talking. And then they can tell the experience that I've had. So I get to the school. It's very nice and friendly girls. You know, I'm used to different types of girls. In the Marines, we dealt with, you know, more street situations, and the regular girls were scared of Marines because we were Marines. But so I'm very happy at the friendliness of the girls, and it was real cool. I liked being in North Carolina Central University. Some great years in my life. And of course I kept working out. I didn't have a school I was going to, but I had all my kung fu, and by then I had about 5 forms that I did religiously daily, as well as some meditation practices that I did, and you know, calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, running, jumping jacks, squats, all that type of stuff. I wasn't doing too much lifting, but I was still very strong and practiced, you know, repetitive kicks. I actually found a bag. I was working out on the bag, and there was a karate guy that was on the football team that everybody was saying he was so good, and he's curious about me, and we talk. And make a long story short, we got to the point we were going to spar. He had a little class, and you know, I was in class, and he kind of challenged me in front of all his students. And I learned in this that to keep the ego from getting involved, keep my ego from getting involved, and to let the spirit of martial art come through me, I needed to do it where I wouldn't be in a situation where my ego could come out. I could let the spirit, you know, go through me. So I said, well, let's not spar in front of your students, because I kind of knew I was going to kick his ass, and I didn't want to do it in front of the students. I kind of had some compassion. And so he said, well, and I know I'm best in the morning. Early in the morning is my time. So I set him up. We went, he said, when do you want, you know, let's meet in the morning. So we met like, I don't know, 5:30, 6 in the morning. Went down to the basement of the dormitory. And we started, and we squared off, and I could see he's very stiff. He doesn't have nowhere near the experience. See, my experience in sparring all those years in the Marines helped me to read people very quickly. You know, so he threw a roundhouse that was, you know, very hard. He had bad intentions, but you know, I saw it coming a mile away. I just kind of moved out of the way. And he threw another one with threw some punches with bad intentions, but it was like he was moving in slow motion to me. So I just hit him with the side kick, boom, let him see my power. You know, mind you, this guy, he's probably about, I'm still like 5'8". He about 5'10", 5'11". I'm about 145 by now. He's about 190. So he's got a little size on him, but he doesn't have, he can't move. I'm like a razor blade. And so I hit him with a sidekick and let him see the type of power that I had, because he didn't realize the power. So from the power of the sidekick, he comes in and, wants to throw some more. I see his favorite kick is the roundhouse. He throws a front kick. Of course, it missed. He throws another roundhouse kick. I spin and hit him in the face. Spin again, hit him in the face. Boom, hit him with a back kick. And just basically, ate him up. Ate him up. And when we stopped, he's like, "Wow, you're good, man." I said, "Yeah, thanks, man. You're good too." He said, "No, not like you, And now, mind you, let me wind back. So prior to this, all these football players are like, "Man, Johnny, when's Johnny gonna spar that guy?" Because they were all looking at me like, this little dude can't do nothing with Johnny. So they were all like pumping him up to kick my ass. So then they knew it was going to happen that morning. So then when he came up, he was kind of like, beat up. And he didn't say anything. So when they came to ask me, they said, "Well, what happened when you guys sparred?" I just said, "No, we just sparred. That's between me and him. We had a good match." He said, "He probably kicked your ass." I said, "Nah, that didn't happen." He said, "Yeah, was you kicked his ass?" I said, "It's not. We don't even look at it like that. We're martial artists." I kind of didn't want to spread any rumors or put salt in the wound. He and I know what happened. And so I did that with him. I did that with this other guy that was a karate guy in North Carolina. I couldn't really find any adequate sparring partners until I met my man Dwight. He was an 82nd Airborne guy, so he's a military man like me. He's about my age, and he came in and he said, "You in the martial arts?" And I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, I am too. He said, "Well," and I said, "Yeah, what a martial art." I really didn't want to talk to him because I was in the store. I was at a cashier in a store that I was managing. And I said, "Yeah, what are?" He said, "Well, I'll talk to you later." And I said, I liked the way he did that. So when he came back around, it turned out he had some pretty good experience. And we got together and we sparred, and he was good. He was good, and I actually caught him full with a spinning back kick like I did that guy in Okinawa that went down and hit the wall. I caught Dwight, and I didn't mean to catch him that hard, and I caught him, and he was just still jumping. He was hurt, but I could tell he was hurt, but he was still jumping around, moving around, had his hands up, and we had a good sparring. And then afterwards, I talked to him about it. I didn't mean to kick you that hard. He said, "Yeah, you were good. You got some hard kicks." He said, "But I just kept moving, and I said, "That's good," and we bonded, and that became my sparring partner. And through the time I was at North Carolina Central from 1978 to 1983, I had a few other sparring matches, and I started teaching probably about 1979. I ran into Master Shahid Sultan from the Khalifa Kung Fu. I never heard of Khalifa Kung Fu, but there was Khalifa Kung Fu, and we taught at a rec center in the Cornwallis Projects on the Weaver Street in North Carolina, Durham, for the summer of '79. We had about 200 students. The whole projects would come in to the gym, and we trained them that summer of '79, and it was a beautiful experience. And 80, I had about 6 or 7 guys that I would take them running every morning. We'd work out every day and spar, and I would they were more of my students. I would facilitate them and toughening their bodies up and give them some of the training that I was known for. And that I continued along those veins all the way to I left Durham in 1983. Yeah, 1983, I left Durham and moved to Newark, New Jersey, and got into a whole other level of martial arts with a whole different group of people. And that's where I met my Grandmaster, Dr. Meng Ji. And I'll tell you about that next video.